everybody, it's Miss Tamara from MidPointe Trenton. Today on MidPointe Maker, I am going to show you how to make this really cool candy jar that's made out of a flower pot, and it looks like an old-fashioned gumball machine. So let's get started. So what you're going to need is, you are going to need a terracotta pot any size, so you're going to use that, and you need a bubble ball. So these are also called rose vases, or just little, you can find them in the floral section. And just make sure, you can get any size, but make sure your size fits good on your pot here. So just make sure it fits like that. And then you're going to need the saucer, but instead of using the saucer like we usually do, we're going to make that the lid. And you will need a wooden knob. These you can find at any craft store. These came from Hobby Lobby. The good thing about these is that it has a hole in the bottom, and I discovered that if you take a sharp pencil and stick it in there, it makes it a lot easier to paint, because we're going to be painting these. You'll get your colors of paint. Today I have some orange and black, and you will need some E6000 or equivalent glue. E6000 is an industrial strength craft glue. It holds, it's repositionable until it sets, so it's really good for doing crafts like this because it's pretty good hold. This won't break off easy. So with that, we will get started. The first thing you're going to do is paint your pot. So you really have to let this dry. So you want to give it, I generally recommend giving it 2 to 3 coats of paint just to make sure you cover the clay really good, because it does absorb some of the paint. And same thing with the lid, give it 2 to 3 coats of paint, and your knob, usually 2 coats of paint will work. And like I said, this is a really clever hack I found where it makes it easier to paint. Now, if you're going to make your knob and your lid the same color, you can go ahead and glue your knob on and then paint. But if not, set your knob aside, paint it a different color, and paint your lid a different color. You can use however many colors you want. I suggest starting with the lightest color and then moving up to the darkest color, because if you cover one of the spots you don't with the lighter, it's easier to cover up with the darker color. So you're going to let this completely dry. So when this gets completely dry, it's going to look like this. So as you see, I have it painted in our nice orange and black. Are you ready for some football for the Bengals or for Halloween? And I painted the lid black, and I painted the knob orange. So I'm going to set these ones that we just showed what you need aside. And then the next step you're going to do is we are going to glue the knob onto the lid. So this is where your wonderful E6000 comes in handy. So we're going to put a little dab of E6000 as soon as we get it out here. Okay, so you're going to put some E6000 on here and try to get it centered. The good thing, if you don't get it centered, until it sets, this E6000 glue is repositionable. So you can get it centered. I'm going to take a look at that. I think it looks pretty centered to me. So we're going to set that aside. And then the next thing we're going to do is glue your glass jar onto the pot. So what I'm going to do is cover the parts of the pot with the glue really good to get it a good hold. You don't need a whole lot of this glue, just enough to cover it, because it is very strong glue. So sometimes it's getting it to come out, because you can see we've used this a lot and it's getting down to the nitty-gritty here. So I'm going to cover it real good up until about where the hole is there. And the next thing we're going to do is put the bowl. So you want to kind of try to center it. So kind of get a good look at it. So you're going to kind of center it like this. You'll have a little bit, I try to match it up with the rim here. You can see the the bottom of the bowl just so it looks kind of even. So if it looks even enough, I'm going to press it down so the glue gets set on it real good. And I'm just going to move it around a bit, make sure it's all covered in glue. So this is it. And now it's important to let this sit for at least about 8 hours. Overnight's good. And then in the morning you should have a good strong bond. And the next thing you can do, you can add stickers. Like if you look at this one, it's a Frozen theme with Olaf and Sven, and it has some turquoise and white colors. So you can add stickers, you can use paint markers on it, you can Mod Podge something on it. Pretty much anything that you can dream of, you can put on this. And now the next thing is, you will let this sit overnight. You'll have this really cool candy jar. You can fill it with your favorite candy and enjoy. Thank you for being with us on this MidPointe Maker. Remember to like MidPointe Library System on Facebook and on Instagram, to follow us on Twitter, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see this video and all the other neat things that MidPointe Library System is bringing to you with our programming. Thank you again. Goodbye.